I'm Kane. That's Copes, who still hasn't figured out how to spin a ball on his finger, and the show is Kane and Copes. Copes, can you believe that they let us two loose on TV?
Guess what? Mouth of the South. I get a chance now to talk. I can say what I need to say. I'm very excited.
Now, here's the thing with the name as well, Copes. You might...
Don't screw this up, because if you do, it's going to be called Copes and Kane next week.
No, here's the thing. I slipped 20 to the producer, Clarkie. It was originally Copes and Kane. He took the bait. Now it's Kane and Copes, and I'm feeling very good about that. Now, by the way, I am a journo at ESPN.com.au, and you're used to hating people like me as a player. Hassling.
I still do.
Still do?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see how we go here. Let's get things started, though, with our starting five, and we're starting with LeBron James. You're talking about a four-time MVP, a four-time champion, but he's 38 years old. We don't know when his run is ever going to end, but he had this to say after a recent game.
I don't want to finish my career, playing at this level from a team aspect. I'm going to still be able to compete for championships because I know what I can still bring to any ball club with the right pieces. I think about, my son graduating high school soon and going off to college, and I'm still playing, and my youngest son is be a junior next year, and how much more time I'll miss. So throughout the course of a day to the weeks to the months, think about a little bit of everything. Think about how much of the world I'm going to see when I'm done playing the game. But at the end of the day, I keep the main thing. And every day, when it's time for us to work, I lock in. And when I have an opportunity to have a day off, I'm still kind of locked in, but I do give myself an opportunity just to kind of decompress a little bit by, watching other teams or watching shows or spending time with my family. So a lot of thoughts. But, for the most part, it's been a good ride so far.
Now, here's the thing, Copes. LeBron, as we said, he's done it all, and it's always been about legacy in the game for LeBron. But right now, he's talking about being a father. He's talking about all the different things in his life. Does he have anything else to prove, and what should he be trying to do?
Nothing else to prove. He's done it all. He's got championships. He's made a pocket full of money, having
yes,
fun,
he has.
right? But he wants to play with his son, and he talks about that. But he doesn't want to finish his career with a losing team, and because that's a big part of his legacy. I just think at the end of the day, you got to find this guy some help or get rid of him. If you get rid of him, you bring somebody else in, it helps the Lakers. You put him on a team that's close to winning a championship to give him the opportunity. But I got a question for you. Why is everybody trying to help LeBron? People didn't help Barkley back in the day. No one helped those superstars back in the day. Why are we trying to help LeBron?
So here's the thing. When I was younger, I was known as a LeBron hater because when he signed with Miami, I was frustrated because you got the big three and it's too easy. I'm like, LeBron is too good to be chasing the titles like this. But as he's gotten older and as I understand what we've been watching for the last 20 years and it's coming to an end, I find myself wanting LeBron to finish on a high note. I want him to be competing for championships, and I don't know what got into me.
That's the young kid in you. See, that's what it is. Back in the day, Jordan, we hated Jordan. We didn't want Jordan to win. You want him to win now. But that's a good thing. I like LeBron because he's a class act. No trouble at all. He's done the right thing. He's a gentleman. He's a family man. Again, he invests his money well. He's doing the right thing. So if he goes out, send him out on a high note.
So here's the thing. We spoke about legacy before. What about you? You are a Melbourne Tigers legend, and I'm not going to be that nice to you all the time.
But everyone knows that already, so you don't need to say that.
That might be true. But here's the thing. Couple of titles, but towards the back end of your career, you did spend time with the Brisbane Bullets. You spent time with the Adelaide 36ers. What was going through your mind at that point in time? What are you chasing?
The money. What are you talking about? What kind of question is that? I was after the money. Now, look, I had a great time with the Melbourne Tigers. I played with the Gazes, Brackey, those guys. But right at the end, when Lindsay retired, Andrew retired, Brackey was leaving. So the group was sort of finished, and I wanted to go elsewhere. I went to Brisbane, played a lot, but didn't play a lot. Got to Adelaide. I knew my career was getting close. So I partied those 2 years, my last 2 years. How about that?
Yeah, no, that's a great answer, and it's also very true because it's the only reason you're doing this TV show is for the cash as well. Were you still motivated?
Wow. Of course I was motivated because you're a ball player.
Right.
You wanted to win, obviously, but I could see my average going down from 18 to 16 to 14 to 12. So,
yes.
And I knew I couldn't do the same things that other guys could do. I couldn't compete with those guys that I played against the years before. So it was time to hang it up.
All right, let's get to number 2 in the starting 5, and we're going to talk about the scoring binge in the NBA. It has been absolutely absurd of late, and if we want a great press conference quote, we go to Greg Popovich, of course. Let's hear what he had to say recently.
For sure, it's much more difficult to play defense these days with so many people that can shoot threes, and the quantity is massive, and they come pretty quickly, so people are going to score. That's just the way it is. So averages are going to go up. Defense is very difficult to, you still work, on the half-court defense, but in transition, when people can spread the court the way NBA players can now and from the distance they shoot, it's obviously an advantage. I've said before, I'm just hoping that the league ends up with a 4-point shot or a 5-point shot so we can make it a real circus. And it'll be a different sport. It won't even be basketball. It'll just be a bunch of crap.
That's why we love Pop, because he throws in a bunch of crap at the end of that quote. But right now we've got 8 players averaging 29 points per game or more. Last year there was 4. The year before that there was only 2. So are you enjoying this as an old school scorer? All you did was get buckets. You did some other stuff as well, but you were a bucket getter. So are you enjoying this or not?
I enjoy the fact that guys can put the ball in the hole. I'm an offensive guy. I love to see the ball go in the net. The problem is, Pop's absolutely right. You can't play defense the way they played back in the day. You can't touch a guy now. A guy like Jordan would average 60 in this game today because you can't put your hands on him. Imagine the Detroit Pistons today. Teams wouldn't score like that. And plus, you got guys like the 4 men who can shoot the 3. Back in our day, the 4 men were rebounders and setting screens. So I love the fact that they play basketball. It's almost like an all-star game. I love the fact that they put the ball in the hole. But let's not put these guys on a pedestal like they're the best players ever, because I've been in that era where guys had to play real basketball and got beat up trying to score baskets.
All right, here's some numbers for you, Cope. So this year, teams are averaging 34.3 three-point attempts per game. Back in 1992, which was the last time he played in the NBA with the fabulous Los Angeles Clippers, teams were getting up around 7.3 per game. In that same year with the Melbourne Tigers later in the year, you got up 5.9. You were almost getting up more threes than the average NBA team in a game. So here's the question I've got to ask for you.
Sure.
With your skill set, with the way that you shot the ball, would you be a better player and would you be more suited to basketball right now?
Probably right now, because, again, it's a free-flowing most people play free-flowing offense. It's all about getting the shot up. But the thing is, anybody can score. Anybody can shoot the ball now. Like, if you notice in the NBL how these players are playing, right? They play the offense where everyone touches the ball. Back in our day, it was Casey, myself, Bracky, who were the go-to guys. They'd give us the ball, and we took most of the shots. No, guys took shots. They took shots, but we take most of the shots. But today, if you put me in a game today, then guess what would happen? The money would go up. I keep talking about the money, but that's a rule.
All right, how many All-Star nods are we talking NBA, Lanard Copeland in the modern day?
I don't know. I'd like to say a lot because I'm going to get the attempts up anyway.
All right, let's get to number 3 in the starting 5. Boomers at the World Cup. Copes, I need to hear from you right now. Who is an NBL player this season getting it done in the league that needs to be on the World Cup squad?
Xavier Cooks, 100%. I've been talking about this guy for all year. It's what he brings to the table. You don't need to run any plays for him. Gets the ball off the glass, takes it coast to coast. He's unselfish. He'll find the open guy. He's worked on his jump shot. But offensive rebounds, the rebounding, look, again, we hear people say he needs to work on his free throws. Maybe, yeah. And he's not an NBA player. But Draymond Green can't shoot the 3. This guy can't shoot. He does exactly what Draymond Green does for the NBA team.
All right, trust me, I'm glad that you brought up free throws because we're going to get to that a little bit later in this show. But I want to talk about CG43. Now, we both love this guy. He's 34. Now, when I asked him during the Boomers qualifiers whether he was going to be at the World Cup, he was like, I don't know. We'll see how the team goes. I'm getting older. We'll see if I get invited. I think he has to be on this squad. He's getting up an NBL high 8.9 three-point attempts per game this season. He's dropping 40% of those. He is elite. And here's the question I got for you, Coach. When you're talking about three-point shooters, because we know Josh Giddey has improved. We know Josh Green has improved. These guys are going to be better shooters. Dyson Daniels is also in that mix. But what is the difference between a guy that is just willing to get up threes and can knock down open threes compared with a guy like CG43 that has the ultimate respect of the defense And how does that impact what everyone else can do?
Because you can run a play for him, or you run multiple plays for him to shoot the three. Now, guys like Giddey and those guys, yes, they're getting better shooting the threes, but you don't run a particular play for them. This guy Goulding is special. I've only seen one other guy in Australia who can shoot like that, and that's Andrew Gaze, and I played with him. So I know the kind of work he's putting in. Again, he's a little bit older now. He's 34. Is he going to be fit enough to play on both ends of the floor? In international games, a little bit different. But again, I'd much rather have him on my side than not on my side. He's one of the special ones. And I've seen a lot of shooters in my time. He's a special shooter.
All right, let's move on to NBL coaches defending their players. And to set this up, we want to hear from Simon Mitchell in the post-game press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we finished.
I think he might be going to hospital on a no call. I think he might be going to hospital. He can't see out of the eye, so I think they're going to have to take him to hospital. That's what I've just heard on the way up here. So, again, it was a no call. We saw him get cannoned through last game with a no call. He's a premier player in this league and he needs to be looked after. Not in the sense that he's looked after and give him everything silver service, but you can't be having guys losing vision during the course of games and there'd not be a whistle. So, really disappointed.
Well, Copes, I'm not going to say too much in this one because I got to get back in the press conference room with all these coaches.
In other words, you're a chicken.
Terrified, scared. But what about you? Okay, so what do you think of these NBL coaches? They're going out to bat. We've seen it with Adam Ford. We've seen it with Simon Mitchell. We've seen it with Chase Buford, all these coaches. How do you feel about that as a player?
It's admirable. Listen to me. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, he's emotional. All right, he's lost his best player. I get it. And you're going to bat for your player. But those calls are just regular basketball calls. The referee missed it, big deal. Now, what if he didn't get hit in the eye and he got hit in the side of the face? It's no big deal. Yes, he's lost his best player. He's losing games. They've dropped down to 7th place on the ladder. He's worried about his job. I'm saying it. I'm not afraid to say it because every coach worries a little bit about their job. But I just think they got to calm down because the game's changed. Now, the referees, had they seen that, they would have made the call. They missed the call. He got hit in the eye. It was a mistake. No one's trying to hurt anybody on purpose.
All right, this is Copes' Corner. So this is where the journo gets to ask the player about experiences on the court. I want to ask you about pressure at the free throw line, Copes. Is it real? And have you got any potential stories you want to let us in on?
100% is real. Listen to this now. I was in college, right? I was a freshman in college. It's real. Trust me. I'm getting nervous now thinking about it.
I don't know what you're about to say, but I'm excited.
I was a freshman in college, and someone got hurt, and my coach came down, walked down the aisle, and said, "Who can I pick to shoot these 2 free throws?" And I'm begging, please don't pick me. Please don't pick me. Late in the game, Copeland, get in here. Let me tell you something. Nervous, shaking, the game's on the line, brick.
No.
Lost my mind. And as we're walking out of the stadium, we lose a game, by the way, as we're walking out of the stadium. And I was a walk-on, remember that? So I was just trying to make the team. Walking out of the stadium, and the glass was a mirror glass. And my coach goes, Division I player in my ass. Boy, I didn't want to come to practice for the next week. Nervous. But I got in there and worked on those free throws and got better. But it's a real thing. You got to be confident in your game to make those kind of shots. Never happened in the pros, but it happened in college.
I can tell you I had some similar moments in Wednesday night Division 6 down in Geelong, and I was just praying that I would actually hit the rim. Hey, Copes, how do you think we're going?
I think we're doing quite well.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm surprised that we got through the first segment. But coming up after the break, we're going to get to half-court shots, plenty more. But let's start with the NBA Top 10.
Alex Irving with 10 to shoot. Gets a built the lead back to 17. Watanabe, spin, fend off, jumper. Smart play by Simmons. Direct block by No soup for you.
This is good hustle right here. Good defense by DeMar not to foul him. And then there's Ayo right there.
That's clean.
Oh, wow. That's Mr. Clean.
Nets ahead by 4, despite Brooklyn shooting 61%. Here it comes. Oh, another poster for Bam Adebayo. A crusher from Bam. Look out, Joe Harris.
Joe Harris in the restricted area. Oh, my. Bam took off early there.
Right now on Demontis Sabonis.
Oh, he put him in his basket. De'Aaron Fox
Just put someone straight in the basket.
That's a foul on Trae Young.
Russell back to Gobert. Swarmed and turned over by Tari Eason. Now to KJ Moore.
Oh, my goodness. Did he dunk from the free throw line? Look at this. Tari Eason says, KJ, show me how it's done. And Torian Princeton, man, I didn't know.
Where did he jump from? Where did he jump from?
He's outside the dotted for sure. It wasn't free throw. Oh, my goodness.
Looked like he was, what, about 1.5 feet or so?
7 seconds. Draymond at 5. Clay for the lead. Long. Looney tip. No. Looney, yes! Looney, yes! The Warriors win it! Rome looking. It's for Lamb on the other side. Clay's got a good look. His three is good! He makes it! Inbounds to Sadiq. He'll fire. He hits it!
A little bit of a mini break. They have 7 fast break points. Taken away Troy Brown. 2-on-1. Schroeder. LeBron doing it again. Big first slam from Schroeder.
I tell you, this crowd is, they are on fire with that play. Unbelievable. I thought the pass was going to be off the mark. LeBron says, no pass.
Ready to check in on the next whistle. Here's Markkanen. Drives paint. Markkanen with a flex as he went over Vucevic.
Now, I thought the one he had over Sabonis was nice, but I think this one's even better. Watch him reach back. Oh! Get out of here.
Little stare down.
Oh,
looking at Vucevic.
Boy.
Oh, yeah. He's barking. Why not?
Giannis touches the paint. Sprays it out. Allen got it. Butter. Giannis with the time.
Go ahead and be the villain and the hero. If you are great.
Backs it out, picks it up, bounce pass to Wilkins to the hoop, dunks it. Dominique jammed it and drew the foul on Mike Brown. Bulls took their best shot early. Wilkins in the lane, scoops the shot up, around and in. First breakaway to Dominique Wilkins. Showtime in Atlanta. Wilkins against Banks. Wilkins turns back baseline and lays it in. Koncak outlets to McGee on the break. Wilkins the jam. 30 for Dominique. Wilkins top of the key, shoots the 20-footer. Good. Short shot with the right hand missing. Tip Koncak, no. Tip stop Dominique. Well, he flew out of that corner on that missed shot by Jordan. Jump pass to Wilkins, left of the lane. He steps in, scoops it up and in and draws the foul. Down ball loose. Charles tries to save, but through Dominique Wilkins. Shot clock. Here's a ball tipped away. Brown had it, lost it to Wilkins. He's got a breakaway. Wow. Windmill jam by Dominique. 53. 57. Dominique out. He ties his career high.
That's the real basketball. That's old school basketball. I got excited by watching that. You see the shorts? Dominique was a real human highlight film.
And you're an Atlanta man?
I'm from Atlanta, absolutely. I got to try out with the Atlanta Hawks. I got cut. But that's all right. I got to train with him. I got to learn Dominique. He's a great guy. And I started wearing number 21 because of that man.
Other than Neek and yourself, what else is going on in Atlanta?
Nothing. Nothing going on. The Braves win, so, nothing else going on.
Listen, as you know, I'm 6'3". I just want to dunk one time. That's.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
5'3", you mean?
5'3". Okay. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's go to half-court shots. From dunks to half-court shots. Now, Scotty Roth, we know Tasmania Jack Jumpers, one of the most popular coaches in the league. And this has become his trademark. He said in a post-game press conference that this is a thing. He does this regularly. And look at the team get around him, Copes.
This is the type of stuff that brings you together as a team. Look at the guys jumping around. They're happy for him, but he probably promised no training out, no training tomorrow or something like that. Because when I played back in the day with Casey, there was a guy, our owner, Seamus McPeak, and he would put down $100 for whoever made the shot. Now, if you didn't make the shot, it would multiply for the next round. We were more worried about the money, the next round, the next road trip, than we were winning the game. But it does bring guys together, galvanize guys, bring guys together.
How big did that jackpot get?
I think it got up to about $400 or $500, because guys, somebody's got to make it. And by the end of that, we had the ball sweepers. We had everybody joining that line trying to win that money.
I love it. Well, let's go from the professionals knocking down half-court shots, which is still kind of impressive, to fans that are going to NBA games and getting the opportunity to win some cash.
Come on, fans. Let's cheer Gerald on to $95,000.
$500 and a prize pack.
95,000 in Los Angeles, Copes. $500 in Indiana. But don't forget, they get a prize pack as well. What is in this prize pack?
Tell you something. You go from 95,000 and pretty girls surrounding you to 500 and a bunch of guys running at you. I know where I want to go on my next vacation. Send me to L.A.
I'm telling you, this is small market discrimination, but if you're a fan and you're going for a trip to the US, make sure you go to a Lakers game, pony up the cash, because don't forget, you're also paying about 5 times the ticket price, and go to Lakers, not the Pacers, and maybe you'll win some cash.
Absolutely. That's funny. That is very funny.
All right, well, that's the NBA. What about the NBL, though? The Illawarra Hawks, they had their own competition in terms of winning a potential prize. That's a nice-looking shot, and he knocks it down, Copes.
Did he win a car? Did he win a car?
I think he did win a car, and that's some pretty impressive stuff from the Illawarra Hawks. Not sure what he was rolling away with there.
He's proud of himself, and probably I would be too.
But I'm telling you, this is an NBL franchise, Copes. You get a car at the NBL and the Pacers. That is embarrassing. $500 in a prize pack.
And a prize pack? You don't know what's in that prize pack, though.
I tell you what, it would have to be some diamonds or something like that. The Pacers, they've got a lot of money. They can do better than that. There's no doubt about that. What about yourself? You're a coach with the Sydney Kings, with the great man, Andrew Gaze. Did you guys ever get involved in this type of competition?
We had a little competition after every shoot-around. We'd three-point shooters or three-point shots or off the glass or something like that. And we got really good at it. And we had some of the players on each other's side. I had 4 or 5 guys on my side. He'd have 4 or 5 on his side, because we were so competitive throughout our whole career. But then it became sort of, we had to do this because it was superstitious if we didn't. But it was fun. It kept us on our toes.
All right, 2 segments down. We're going to keep it rolling with an NBL and NBA preview of the weekend. Of course, you can watch all the action here live on ESPN. Can the Lakers continue to the roll? They've clawed their way back to almost at 500, Copes, and they're looking to continue that form on Friday against the Dallas Mavericks live on ESPN.
Don't have a chance.
Barely played 2 minutes, and to shoot that in transition.
Oh! Takes the one and throws it down in traffic. Didn't know Sam Wardenberg had those bunnies. He's got the length.
But Doyle gets his first 2 of the game as
Oh, boy. Oh, Magnay, this is what Tasmania's been missing.
McCall at halftime, got it! An incredible quarter from the Cairns Taipans.
All NBL first and second team in those inside positions. What a pass, what a finish.
That is a big-time finish.
Have you seen his acting in that commercial?
It's not
perfect.
It's not great, but this could be special.
Yes!
Xavier Cook's having a night out.
We are set for an absolutely wild run to the postseason in the NBL, Copes, and it continues this Sunday, of course, live on ESPN. Sunday afternoon, a little freeway series, Kings and the Illawarra Hawks. But I want to ask you about the Sydney Kings. Can anyone stop them right now? They are actually destroying teams. The offense was stagnant for a little while. They're firing on all cylinders. Can they be stopped?
If they stay healthy, they'll win it again. I mean, and look, there are teams like New Zealand who can compete with them. And the other guys are going to play hard against them. But I just think they have too many weapons. They're playing well. They got a great coach. They've been there. They know what it takes to win. They'll win it again.
And here's the thing. You talk about the depth with the Sydney Kings. So Xavier Cook's over the last 4 games, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists as well. I said this the other day, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm all in on this take, but he is like a big Russell Westbrook. He grabs the ball off the glass. Now, he might be a little bit slower. As I said, he's a little bit taller, but he's taking it coast to coast, facilitating, scoring at the same time. And we just saw before, he throws down that windmill. This is your guy.
2 things are certain here. He's a hell of a player, and you love your stats. You're the stat man, aren't you? You know every stat known to man.
I am a dead set Poindexter. There's no doubt about that. Now, we have got the Wildcats and Adelaide 36ers as well. Easy question. Who's going to make the play-in?
I'm giving it to the Perth Wildcats. Did you see them play the other night? They only played 6 players, or really 6 players. And if he can tone that in and make those guys play harder, you got to give them a chance.
Yeah, They've gone all in on offense. There's no doubt about that. What about the Nets and the Celtics, Copes? No Kevin Durant. Ben Simmons, can he step up? He's going to have to now without that 30 points on ridiculous efficiency from Kevin Durant.
I think he can step up with other stats, rebounding, assists. He can. No one can replace Kevin Durant. He's a shooter. He's a scorer. He's the beast. So I don't know if they'll do the same.
All right, the only thing I've got to say, we made it through the show. You need an extra shiny spot. We'll see you next week, maybe. Who knows?
Funny man. You got the funny shine spot. You're shrinking as we look.